I don't think Kung Lao does need to be buffed. If I'm going to be honest with you, I think a lot of the things with this game are at the moment is that they're very new. So I think a lot of the top tiers you'll see start to normalize. No, see, I think his frame data is really good. I think the perceived issue with Kung Lao is that it a lot of his strings. I mean, if you were to finish off all of his strings, a lot of them are a bit unsafe. But I think the strength of Kung Lao is, I think, the dive kick. I think if you get the read on the dive kick, that is a very, very, very strong move. And I think the read is... No, because he does. I think you just don't need to finish the strings. I think if with Kung Lao, if you try and finish the strings like his 2-1-2-1, the one where he throws the hat into the punches, that's a good frame trap tool. A lot of his string, his forward, I think it's forward 1-2, the punch into the shoulder, that's -7, but the forward 1 is safe. I think it's forward 1-2 or forward 2-1. The punch into the shoulder, the punch bit is safe. EX hat spin I think is safe as well on block. So I think with Kung Lao, you have to just try and approach using what safe strings that you have and then punish people. Yeah, so he does have, a lot of his strings are long and they are super unsafe, but that's what I mean, is that if you were to leave them unfinished, I don't think that he's a weak character, or I don't think he needs to be buffed. I think if you were to buff him, because his combo damage is so high and his hit confirms are so good, I think that if you were to buff him, it would make him a really, really, really crazy character. Because he doesn't have an overhead, so he makes up for not having an overhead, well, apart from the command teleport into the overhead. I think he makes up for not having a decent overhead or a command grab by... I mean, his zoning game is great as well with the hat and the Z hat. And he's got the teleport to close in as the read as well. It's not, obviously it's not as good as Noobs or Scorpions, but he does have more options off it. But everyone's jump kick is. If you jump in with something like, you know, jumping 3 and you don't press a button, that's where the mix-ups come in, because he's got he's got a strong throw game after his strings because they leave them really close. So that's where the mix-up is if are they going to finish the strings off, or are they going to stop the string and grab you, or are they going to hit confirm? You know, if you press a button at the wrong time, especially after the punch, like the throw hat into the punches, you know, you're eating 370 damage on one bar. So, you know, he does a lot of damage. His crushing blows, I think, are good. I think if he hits you with the I can't remember the string, but into the low hat throw move, which spins you up in the air, and you get crazy damage off that. No, I think he's a really strong character. I think a lot of these characters that seem a bit weaker just need a bit more time to breathe, and I think the characters that are considered strong are still going to be strong, but I think that people's way of dealing with them is going to be more practical as the game comes out. It's the end of a string. I can't remember which string it is, but he does 2 hits and then he throws the hat, and the hat can crushing blow, and that can lead it launches them into big damage. But I think he's a really strong character. I don't think he needs... And his down 2 is sick as well, because he's sort of low profiles, and the arc of it is so much wider than most other people's down 2s. It's sort of like a Baraka down 2. Oh yeah, it must be 4-2-1-4 then. But that's why it's unsafe, because it's a mix-up as well. So, yeah, no, I think Kung Lao doesn't need to be buffed. I think he's a really strong character, and I think as the game gets on and people discover more ways... Foxy plays a really sick Kung Lao, Foxy Grandpa. So if you want to watch him play, and try and get some distract. That's the best way to learn, is just to watch top players play and see what they do. Try and Sharingan their strats. But I think Kung Lao is going to stay near the top. But then they are going to patch the game very soon, I've heard. So, you know, all they need to do is tweak the frame data on one string here or there, you know, and he goes from being really good or being really bad. So, you know, however you were going to tweak him, yeah, definitely. Kung's raw strength is definitely hit conversion, because he can clip you from, you know, if you mistime a jump, or you stick out a button that you shouldn't, or you press a button at the wrong time. Yeah, and not even just a combo. It's not like he's just doing like 1-1 into special move. If he's got bar, that's getting turned into a full, like, proper combo. Hat spin into the forward. I think it's forward 4 is the double kicks. Into double kicks, into double hat spin, into the jump kick, you know, dive kick, bam, 370. And all he did when you was a down 1, especially in the corner. And they go on for so long as well. It's the mental guard break of getting hit with a combo that goes on for 15 seconds, and you're just sitting there like, why can't I break away? You have to be so careful of trying to jump out of the corner against Kung Lao. Same with Liu Kang. Either of those two characters, if they catch you jumping out, trying to jump with a down 1 when you're jumping out of the corner, you are going to eat crazy damage. But no, I know that's a bit long-winded. With long-winded way of answering, but no, I don't think he needs to be buffed. I think he's a really strong character. And I think as the game gets on, he's only going to get stronger the more people adapt. Because his strength as well, or perceived lack of strength, is in relation to other characters being stronger. So characters like Sonya and Garrus, but characters like Garrus are already getting figured out. Like Garrus's forward 2-1-2 string, there's loads of videos out at the moment that show that a lot of characters can low profile, or at least full punish that string while he's doing it. So, you know, that wasn't common knowledge at the start of the game. When the game came out, everyone was just getting oppressed by forward 2-1-2. But now I think Katana can low profile it. Johnny Cage can get full punish. Jackie can get a full punish. So, you know, as stuff like that comes out, it's gonna get, especially when it comes to certain matchups, people might realize, oh, if Kung Lao does down 3 or whatever at the end of this particular string against this character, you know, he might destroy Sonya. Like, so there might be a bit of tech that comes out that, you know, absolutely makes it a 10-0 matchup, Kung Lao versus Garrus, or a 10-0 matchup, Kung Lao versus Liu Kang, or something like that. So I think it's still early doors to judge in that respect if he's good or bad. I think the only characters that can be said that need to be buffed, I don't think anybody should be nerfed. Let me just say that as well. I think that when this game, the beauty of this game is that every character that I've tried seems fun to play. It's just me, whether or not characters click, you know, if you pick a main or if you like how a character plays. I think every character that I've picked up has been fun to play. I just think that the weaker characters like Katana and Devora, they just need to be tweaked so that they're a bit more buffed, and that they have, you know, maybe better crushing blows, maybe better conversion, maybe their combos do a bit more damage. Because I think it would be more fun to have every character be strong than to start nerfing characters and making them not fun to play just so that they balance. I think it's better to buff and make them equal than to nerf and make them equal, because I think it makes it less fun to watch as well. Because it is hype, you know, when you watch Garrus hit somebody with one of these karate chops and it does 400 damage, especially when it's near the end of a game, it makes it hype. So you don't want to suck the hype away by, you know, undue nerfing, because that's what NRS have been known with in the past, is that they get like Tanya, when Tanya was released in MKX, that CEO, I think 6 out of top 8 were Tanya players because she was so strong. And then the next week they nerfed her into Oblivion and she was never played again. I think that they've done really, NetherRealm have done really well in this regard, is that there's been a lot of complaints about Aaron Black. Yeah, exactly. A killing blow could come at any second. And the meta as well is, especially at the top level, which is I'm just not able to do at the moment, is holding on to the crushing blow. They think, oh shit, I've just been whiff punished by Garrus, he's going to hit me with the karate chop, and it doesn't come yet. So now you're worried because he's still got it stored, because even though when you do get crushing blow, I think this is testament to NRS's design in this game. If you do get crushing blow, that's it, it's gone. You only get one. So if Garrus does do his judo chop into 1,000,000 damage, you know, it's hype to see, but it also means it's used. So shows you how long I've been talking for. So it's cool to have that mind game being played as well. Core A is sick, by the way, as well. I agree with you, Papa Masha, and I agree with you, Man with a Plan. And yeah, Core A is like sort of who I aspire to be. Core A and Sagem are like my YouTube /analyst. And am I number 1? Thank you. But yeah, Core A is really sick. You know, I agree. Nerf should be used very sparingly. If there's usually should be reserved for stuff that's actually broken. So thanks, Papa Masha. I love you, man. That's what I needed to hear. But yeah. No, but I like hearing it. You know, I like the little confidence boosts. You know, just in case you're like, no, actually, James Chen, who's actually sick as well. But you know, I'd have been like, oh, ha ha, do 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 do.